This is a video about the gear that I would normally bring on a winter day trip. Most of it is for safety, but some is just to make it very, very comfortable and neat. We'll start with the clothing. First of all, you need really nice warm clothes. This is my big down jacket that comes along. It's quite heavy, almost 2 kilos. And I also bring a spare set of underwear, and that's more for the odd chance that you might get all wet going through the ice. And then a warm jacket. I prefer these fleece jackets because they are lighter. I had them for many years. They last forever. There are some downsides to them, but they're quite functional and very warm indeed. And then at the bottom, I guess, I would have a pair of trousers like these. These are with Primaloft. There's not down, but these are very light, quite warm, and so I take them on top whenever I have a break, especially when skiing. And then I have a head over in wool, quite big one, so I could pull it up on over my face if it's really cold. I have a balaclava that I could hide within if it's necessary. I like it quite good, but it's a bit warm on an everyday basis. This is just another hat. It's probably spare for if the one that I'm wearing gets wet. This is my fur hat. It's really warm, and that's for the warmer. Sorry, to keep warm eventually. And then I do have an extra pair of gloves. I love these gloves. These are really nice. They are waterproof. They're quite warm, and I don't very often freeze on my hand, so I find them quite sensible. But I also have these as well. These have woolen mittens inside them, and they are windproof. They're not waterproof, but these are for when it's really cold. And another extra pair of socks. So, and that's the end of the clothing department. As you can see, it's quite a lot, and all of what you see here is in the bag or in the sled that you'll see now. This is my team, Soru and me in front, and Fix, who's really eager to get on her go, and Falla in black and white. And so we are heading up. Oops, Daisy. We are heading up this direction, following some friends of mine. Hopefully we'll meet them, and if we are lucky we'll get a really nice interview, because these are special people. Food is the next item, next issue, and I usually bring, especially on cold days, this part in January, February, early March, I will bring a hot flask bottle like that with which keeps soup warm for me. Any kind of soup really, but sometimes I bring in another flask for just hot water, and I would have a cup, thermo cup like this with a lid, so that it stays warm while I'm drinking it. And I also bring my stove. This is my stove. I'm not going to open it, but it runs on petrol, and it's very efficient, and I like to bring that because if I have to, I can melt snow or heat water, and it's very efficient and works really nice, and no ever problems with that. I'm in this department. I have some dry, instant coffee, some tea bags, a spoon that I both stir with and obviously eat with, and my bowl. Quite simple, but it works. It doesn't take much space, and obviously the pan itself. It's a. I'm not going to take that out, I guess, but it's a 3-liter one. It's fairly big, and when I'm on my own, I guess it might be too big, but I mean that's not a problem. Sometimes I need to heat some water for the dogs, and then it really comes in handy to have a larger one. And sometimes I meet friends, and obviously that's really nice then. A wood, quite thin, but it's steady. You can go right directly on the snow. Table for all the gear that I'm bringing, and you can all stand on there, which is really nice. Yeah, well, that's the food department. Let's see how it went with the dogs and I when we were heading for Tvillingvangen. Klar? And off we go. It's 17 below, 17 and a half, so it's probably going to be a bit cold, but it's uphill now, so I have to help the dogs for a while, and so I'm a bit cold at the moment, so I'll stop filming and start working and get warm. That's the fine hundar. Yes, that's nice dogs. I'll have to translate that, they don't understand English. Okay, well, the next group of gear that I bring would be safety equipment. I would bring GPS with spare batteries, fresh ones inside already, a proper compass. I like these quite a bit because you can get a really nice line there, and obviously you need a map, preferably one of that area where you're going. But I will also bring a couple of knives, a smaller one. This is the one that I use most. It's very sharp, and well, it's a neat little knife. This one is more for cutting brush and small pieces of wood if I were to lit a fire. They bring us to this, which is a bag where I keep a dry bag with a lighter, some matches, and kindle. Easy to lit a fire, and it's all in this blue dry bag. I obviously have more than I have a lighter in here with the stove, but you can't have too many of those, I think. Then some very strong string for any purpose, really. And this is some for the skis, the wax for the skis. And more importantly, I would bring at least 2 headlamps, one really heavy duty, well, not really, but quite, and one smaller for the camp, and spare batteries for the house too, and the same a tent light, and then obviously some toilet paper, spirit, something like first aid kit, and some repair kit again, and then a bag for staying warm. It's something that you can get into the whole your whole person. It's a Fjellduken Hunter. You can see it has a Primaloft insulation, and it's very nice. It's full body length, so you can actually sleep in one of those. I prefer to sleep in those with a sleeping bag and a mat, but it is possible. And then finally, I will bring a set of goggles to protect against strong wind or snow drift. There's a security gear and a few other stuff which is important and probably will come in handy at sometimes. And most of this, not everything, were with me on the sled on the trip to Tvillingvannen earlier. Some of you might think it's an overkill, this bag, but it seconds as a overnight winter trip bag as well. You just need an extra tent, a sleeping system and extra food. Ooh. And you're all set. So it's a great way to just get up very quickly. And I was going to meet someone on the ice, and we were going to have an interview with them, but it was just too cold and I didn't want to bring out the gear to start filming and asking them questions. We had some food, and these are really good friends of mine, and we will be on new trips, and I would like to interview them about how they are using their dogs when they are out like this. When your friends are calling you and asking if you would like to go on the trip, just now, with this setup, you can say, sure, where are we going? And how long are we staying? I'm just going to make some food and then I'm ready. Just make sure that you bring fresh batteries with you, replace any matches that you've used, and that you got enough petrol, and most of all, that you got the right map for the trip. Now, if you find these videos useful, please subscribe underneath and leave your comments. What would you bring? Take care and have a nice trip.